Do the WNBA complain about everything? They have a problem with everything. Oh, you guys, I don't like the way you guys worded things. Let's see. The WNBA is out of pocket at this point, y'all. They are out of pocket. Listen, the tide has turned. The WNBA seem to be more focused on trying to win the general public over rather than get a damn deal done. And that is the nastiest work in all.
That frustration you're hearing isn't confusion. It's the sound of someone watching a once-in-a-generation opportunity slowly bleed out. Because at the exact moment when the WNBA should be accelerating, when it should be striking while the iron is white hot, the league has slammed its own foot on the brakes. Everything has stopped. Free agency is frozen. Players can't sign contracts. Teams can't make roster moves. Nothing is moving forward. And the reason why exposes a power struggle that's threatening to waste the biggest moment this league has ever had. Let's start with the facts. On Monday evening, the WNBA and the Players Union agreed to a full moratorium on free agency. No signings, no qualifying offers, no core designations, no negotiations of any kind. The entire transaction system is locked until a new collective bargaining agreement is ratified. On paper, that might sound orderly. In reality, it's a flashing red warning sign. Here's why this matters. The January 9 CBA deadline came and went with no new deal, no extension, and no official work stoppage. That automatically triggered what's known as a status quo period. Under that status quo, free agency technically should have begun under the old CBA rules. Players should have been allowed to negotiate. Teams should have been allowed to act. That's how labor law normally works. But instead of letting that process play out, both sides agreed to hit pause. And the path to that pause reveals just how dysfunctional these negotiations have become. This isn't a strategic delay time during a dead period. This is happening while interest in the league is at its highest point ever. Attendance has surged. Ratings are up. Sponsorship attention is real. And instead of capitalizing, the league is frozen in uncertainty. For fans, it looks like incompetence. For players, it feels like instability. For teams, it's operational paralysis. Nobody can plan. Nobody can commit. Nobody can build. And the most dangerous part? Momentum doesn't wait. Public attention doesn't stay parked. The league finally has oxygen, and it's choosing to hold its breath. That's why the frustration sounds sharp. This is an abstract labor drama. This is the league pressing pause at the exact moment it should be pressing forward.
See, pause will end once a new CBA agreement is ratified. So there will be no free agency signings or moves that happen as of right now. And I'm guessing this saves just a lot of paperwork for the WNBA because players were already being told by the WNBA, don't sign nothing. Hey, y'all, don't sign. We trying to get a new deal. Don't sign.
When people say don't sign that language, that's not some throwaway line. That's an entire negotiation in one sentence. Because this is where things stop being about logistics and start being about trust. Or, more accurately, the complete lack of it. According to multiple sources familiar with the negotiations, the league sent its initial moratorium proposal at roughly 11 p.m. on Friday night. Late, quiet, end of week timing. The union reviewed it and immediately said no. Not because they opposed freezing free agency. Both sides actually agree that letting players sign contracts under an outdated salary system would be messy. They rejected it because the proposal included additional language that went beyond simply delaying free agency. That's the key detail. The league wasn't just asking for a pause. They were asking for a pause plus extra conditions. And the union caught it. What those extra clauses were matters less than the fact that they existed at all. Because once one side believes the other is trying to slip things in under the radar, every single word becomes suspect. The union removed that language and sent back a counterproposal over the weekend. Same freeze, none of the extras. The league didn't respond until Monday afternoon. Only then did both sides agree. That timeline, Friday night to Monday afternoon, tells you everything you need to know about the state of these talks. There is zero goodwill, zero benefit of the doubt. Every sentence is being dissected. Every clause is being interrogated. Nothing is being accepted at face value. And that level of scrutiny doesn't come from nowhere. It comes from fear. Fear of being boxed in. Fear of precedent. Fear that one bad sentence today could cost millions tomorrow. This is no longer a negotiation built on shared goals. It's a legal knife fight. Each side assumes the other is trying to gain leverage in the margins. That's why this moratorium didn't come easily. And that's why even something as basic as freezing free agency required multiple drafts, counteroffers, and days of silence. When trust collapses, progress slows to a crawl. And that's exactly what we're watching happen in real time.
Which included free agency before the moratorium. During a typical free agency period, qualifying offers including core designations similar to the NFL franchise tag could be being sent out on January 11th. Restricted qualifying offers are sent to free agents on an expiring contract with 4 years of service or a player finishing the 4th year of their rookie scale contract. This offer, which comes with a 1-year contract and gives the player's previous team the right to match any competing offer, prevents them from becoming.
Let's be very clear about what this moratorium actually does, because the consequences are bigger than most fans realize. First, no qualifying offers. Those offers are what keep restricted free agents tied to their teams. Without them, teams lose a key roster control mechanism. Second, no core designations. That's the WNBA's version of a franchise tag. A fully guaranteed 1-year supermax deal that allows teams to retain elite players who would otherwise become unrestricted free agents. Since 2022, those contracts have been fully guaranteed, making them extremely powerful. You can only core a player twice in their career. It's a serious decision. And now, completely off the table. Third, no negotiations of any kind. Not even exploratory talks. Everything is frozen until a new CBA is ratified. Here's the irony. Multiple league sources admitted that even before this moratorium became official, qualifying offers and core designations were already meaningless. Why? Because the union had already instructed players, don't sign anything. The salary system is being rebuilt from the ground up. Whatever number exists under the old CBA is guaranteed to look terrible compared to what's coming next. So from the player's perspective, signing now would be financial malpractice. Teams knew this. The league knew this. Technically, teams were told they could send offers under the expired agreement, but front office executives were baffled. Why create paperwork no one will accept? Why pretend there's a market when everyone knows it's frozen? So even before the official moratorium, free agency was already dead. The announcement just made the paralysis formal. That's the reality. A system frozen not because of rules, but because of uncertainty. And uncertainty is poison for a league trying to grow.
Last week, the WNBA contacted every team's front office to advise them they can begin sending out qualifying offers and core designations under the expired agreement. The reaction from sources across the league was one of confusion and frustration. Multiple league sources told Front Office Sports that offers would be meaningless as no players would sign them, with an overhaul to the salary system being negotiated. Lexi Brown and Kehlani Brown are the only players not on rookie contracts signed through the 2026 season. Outside of the moratorium on free agency, the conditions of current CBA will remain in place as both sides continue negotiations. In this period of status quo, either side could initiate a work.
Now let's talk about how this could actually end, because both sides are sitting on nuclear buttons. The owners can initiate a lockout, shut the doors, no practices, no games, no access, force the union to accept terms. The players can strike. They already authorized it nearly unanimously in December. Union leadership has said it's not imminent, but it's ready. Here's the dangerous part. During a status quo period, neither side has to give advance notice. No warning, no countdown. One morning, players could be locked out. That same afternoon, players could strike. No buffer, no grace period. That uncertainty is paralyzing everything. Teams don't know if there will be a season. Players don't know if they'll get paid. Sponsors don't know if their investments are safe. The league isn't just paused, it's suspended in midair. And gravity always wins.
So the owners could say, hey, I'm done talking, I'm locking your asses out. The players could say, hey, we're going on strike. At any moment, no notice needed, they can just do it. A lockout will be initiated by the owners and a strike by the players. The WNBPA cast a near unanimous vote to authorize a strike in December. Stewart said of over Unrivaled's opening weekend that a strike was not an immediate threat, but a measure the players.
Now we get to the part everyone tiptoes around. Brianna Stewart. She is a co-founder of Unrivaled, the new 3-on-3 league operating in Miami. She's also a member of the WNBA Players Union Executive Committee, directly involved in negotiating the CBA. That's not illegal, but it is complicated. Unrivaled's business model depends on keeping WNBA players stateside during the offseason. It competes for attention, energy, and commitment. Meanwhile, Stewart is helping negotiate the very agreement that determines how much those same players are paid by the WNBA. When Stewart talks about juggling these roles, the strain is obvious. She's openly admitted her brain hurts, balancing Unrivaled operations, playing games, and participating in executive committee calls simultaneously. She says she wants a generational shift. Fine, but here's the question no one asks out loud. Does Unrivaled benefit if these negotiations drag on? If WNBA players feel frustrated, uncertain, or underpaid? Does that make alternative leagues more attractive? If free agency is frozen and futures are unclear, does that increase leverage for outside ventures? You don't have to accuse anyone of bad faith to recognize misaligned incentives. When one person occupies both spaces, optics matter. And right now the optics are ugly.